afternoon, Sư Phụ.
How are you today? Good.
Very good.
Very good.
Very thian.
Okay. So who is new to SGC? Anyone who is new to SGC? Yeah, okay. Introduce yourself, your name, and how you got to know about this group. Yes. Sorry? Lei Hing, yes. And how did you get to know about this group? From the Silk trip, huh? Very good, thank you. In September, we went to Silk Route to China for the Silk Road trip. So through that, we walked part of the journey of what Xuan Zhang Da Si took, and also part of the route which Chimula Si Da Si took. When we say we walk, we didn't literally walk much also. We were on the bus for the most part, and there was even the internal link with train. So good to see you here. Who else? Anybody else who is here for the first time with us for SGC? Yes. Your name?
I first met you when you gave us the 3 refuge and 5 precepts. You were the Venerable.
Okay.
July.
Ah.
I get to know this group also from the Cooking Science classes. And also attended the live devotion.
Good. Sadhu.
Also just came back from overseas progress.
Where from? Penang? Sorry?
With the Theravada group.
Sadhu. So hope to see you all join us. We are usually at the Buddhist Union in Koban. Today is special because Buddhist Union, to celebrate the first day of the year, they start off the year with Da Bei Zhou, Great Compassionate mantra retreat. So as a result, the whole premise is occupied. And so today we are here at the Buddhist Library. Anybody else who is here with us for the first time? Anyone else? Anyone else? Raise your hand. In front of Buddha, in front of Mark, Sifu cannot lie. Yeah, I know a lot of you all join us for the first time. Or haven't been introduced before. Right, Kaka? What's your name?
Oh, we know who you are. Derek.
Derek, hello. How do you get to know about the group?
My fiancé brought me here.
Your friend?
My fiancé.
Your fiancé?
Yeah.
Brought you here. Who is your fiancé? Yeah, hello fiancé. Welcome. In some centers that is more traditional, the guys will sit one side, the girls will sit one side. Yeah, but in the group cultivation that I organize, I often dismiss with this rule. And the reason is because for many people, I would say perhaps for the majority of the people, you all are here with your friends and family, and you may have your friends who are of the opposite gender, but you come together. Then you come together, then you split you up, especially if you're together, you know. So I would usually encourage people to just sit freely. Yeah. Before you get enlightened, get caught up with all of these ground rules, frighten people away. So welcome. continue to sit together. So whenever she come and sit, then you must come and sit together. Okay, who else? Anybody else who is here with us for the first time? If not, hold your peace forever until 2018. Anybody? No? Okay. So welcome to SGC, where we have short puja, some meditation, and then Dharma sharing. Today is also very special because we had our lunch gathering and Sangha offering. Yeah. For those who, I guess all of you joined in. Did anybody not join the alms offering? Well, one or two? Yeah. So the alms offering has been going on for the past how many years? In various centers, they have different timing. So in the past, we used to do it in August, following the the Ulambana celebration. Yeah. But this year is special also. We do it on the 1st. Yeah. So looking at the time, we have 5 minutes left. So thank you for coming. See you all next year. So I'm going to adjourn the Bodhisattva precepts for next week. Yeah, for next week. I'd like to just share a bit of reflection for the new year. 2016 has been very eventful.
Flash.
A flash. A flash and what? Yeah, eventful and went past in the flash. Yeah. It is as I heard many years ago how seniors and elders would tell us, just close your eyes, open again. Wow, 1 year is gone. Yeah. When I was much younger, didn't quite appreciate that. New Year seemed to take forever to come. Yeah. Usually for kids it's like that. For kids it usually feels that way. You know that you are no longer a kid when it doesn't feel that way. For those who feel like New Year is here again, then it means that you're somewhere there already. Yeah. I have this theory about time, that the length of the time or how long you feel the time is dependent on how much time you have experienced. So if you are a young child, let's say like 10 years old, your conscious experience of time is probably from maybe about 3 to 5 years old up to 10. Why 3 to 5 years old? Because scientifically, the brain starts to retain memory properly around 3 to 5 years old. So most of the events that you experience before 3 to 5 are hazy at best for most people. Now, I know some of you can remember how you do somersault in your mother's womb, but most of us can't. And as a result, for most people, if you are at the age of 10, you have experienced maybe 5 to 7 years of time. And what that means is that for you, 1 year is kind of proportionate to that 5 to 7 years of your life. So if you can just loosely piece them together in an equation, then it will be 1 over that 5, let's say, multiplied by some coefficient k, for example. So it's 1 over 5k, 0.2k. K is some arbitrary number. It's a field of time, okay? And then if you are, instead of 10 years old, but you are 20 years old, then you would have experienced 15 years. It will be 1 over 15k. And you realize, is 1 over 15k bigger or smaller than 1 over 5k? Well, all makes feel. Let me repeat the question. Smaller, of course. When the denominator becomes bigger, the fraction becomes smaller. Got it? Okay? Okata? Yoga desu ka? Okay. Yeah, basically, 1 over anything, 1 over x, if x tends to infinity, then the total value becomes smaller and smaller. Okay? Okay, say yes? Yes, okay, that's one. So imagine as you grow older, the denominator becomes bigger and bigger. Yeah? Yes. Yeah. So this would fit in with our own experience of how, as we grow older, our experience of time seems to become shorter and shorter. Why? Because your 1 year, for myself, 1 year would be in respect to the 40 over years that I've experienced. But if I deduct the first 3 to 5 years, then it's 30 plus years. Yeah? So that becomes a much smaller experience compared to what I would have experienced it when I was 10 years younger. Now you can imagine if you reach 70, 80 years old, 90 years old. Yeah. So then, what is the implication? Yeah, what is the implication? The Buddha in various sutras shared with us about how life is impermanent. In one of the sutta, he shared about how in the past, in the long distant past, there was a certain teacher who shared this with his students. And the teacher shared with the students that life is fleeting. Life is fleeting like a dewdrop, where the moment the sun rises, the dewdrop just evaporates. It's so transient, so fleeting. It is like the lightning flash, yeah, just over in a second. It is like the snap of the finger. Yeah, it is in this way and that way, transient, impermanent, changing and fleeting. At the end of that sharing, the teacher, the Buddha then said, at that time, when that teacher was giving that reflection and sharing, average lifespan of human beings was 60,000 years long. 60,000 years long.
How is it possible?
No, it seems impossible. It seems incredulous. Yeah? But that's why it's stated. 60,000 years. Can you imagine how it's like to live for 60,000 years? Dinosaur. 60,000 years. Wow. We average lifespan of Singaporeans, guys would be 80, women would be 85. Yeah? That's not even 100. If we pump you up to 100, that is still a fraction, a tiny fraction of the 60,000-year-old lifespan. And yet, in that sharing, the teacher commented that life is short, life is fleeting. In that way, then the Buddha told his disciples much more, that our lifespan at this point in time, in the Buddha's time, the average lifespan was maybe around about 80, supposedly. Yeah? So, that being the case, what more of our life? Yeah, what more of our life? As we start the year, it is not to get everybody into everybody in a 60,000 years. My life, how long is it going to be? Yeah. No, it is not a morbid view of life. It is not to frighten us into submission, but to take on an active reflection of life. Yeah? To actively take part in life. Yeah? To consider, how have I spent 2016? How have I spent 2016? Have I done what I wanted to do? In what ways have I accomplished my goals? Now maybe we have accomplished a huge part of the things we want to do, but perhaps there are some things that we miss out. Yeah? Again, not to guilt trip anybody, yeah? But it's okay. It's important to recognize that we miss out on some things. Because then these are the areas that you want to spend time to strengthen on. There was once I was counseling this I want want to say middle age. But then some students told me that middle age is 40 plus to 50 plus. That means I'm middle age. But I don't feel like I'm middle age. I always feel like middle age is someone who is like older, you know. Then now that I'm 40 plus, middle age should be 60 plus. When I'm 60 plus, middle age should be 80 plus. When I am about to die, middle age is those who are 60,000 years old. So anyway, this devotee, this student, he got into some legal problem. Yeah. The gist of what he went through was he got into some argument with a customer. He's a cabbie, and then because of some disagreement, he got a complaint. Yeah. If he had just accepted the complaint and just, go through the review and whatever, maybe in a month or two it would be over. But then he decided that was unfair. So he called up the customer because it was a booking, so he has the number. But that's improper use of private information. You're not supposed to use that call. So he called and then, sort of like told her, basically told her off and so on and so forth. What could have been settled in 1 or 2 months, or maybe even a few weeks' time, with just a memo on his record, went on to escalate. The person, I must say, happened to be an Amor. I must highlight, happened to be an Amor. It could have been anybody, it could have been a PRC, it could have been a Singaporean, it could have been one of us. Okay, maybe not. Yeah. But what happened is that person, after receiving the call, went further because initially just filed a complaint, settled. A request for apology, and that's it. When that person called up the customer, the passenger, for whatever reasons, decided to file a police report. And basically then filed a charge that she was being harassed. Yeah, that she was being harassed. And so it became a police case. And if you think that was the end of the story, no, that was not the end of the story. He was called in to assist in the investigation, to have an inquiry. But I went back and forth a bit, and this student of mine, he decided that, yes, oh shit. Yeah, it is so dramatic, He decided that it was if I'm wrong, then charge me, yeah. Otherwise, why are you doing all this investigation? Now, you may have watched some of those spy movie or some of those cop movie or whatever, where the person would basically just challenge the police officer and say, well, are you charging me? Sometimes you watch those American films, they'll ask, are you charging me? If not, can I go now, right? And usually in the movies, the police are like, oh, we don't have anything on him. We have to let him go. We can't hold him indefinitely. Well, that's not what happened. So remember, movies are movies. Don't follow what happened in the movie, okay? What happened instead, he was really charged. Yeah, not of the actual charge, but he was charged under some misdemeanor. Yeah, he's charged for contempt and so on and so forth. Yeah, multiple things lah. And basically, he spent 1 day in jail, in the police station.
No.
And then after that, he was thinking that was the end of it. He wrote an email to the police inspector. Now you see, if I had known, when is the end of the story? Yeah, it's like Star Wars multi-part trilogy, and then when you thought that that's the end of the trilogy, and there's part 1, 2, 3. When you thought it's over, then there's Force Awakens. Then when you thought that that's it, then there's Rogue One. And guess what? 8, 9 is not out yet. So the same for this case. Now, but not to make a joke out of it. Yeah, not to make a joke out of it. It is. When I first heard about the case, it was just at the initial stage, and I was like, just I try to counsel him and advise him to just move on, But apparently it didn't go in. And the next time I heard about it was it became a police case really, and already charged and in and out, and then he even wrote into basically question how the investigation was done. So I'm like, the second time or third time I met him, I'm like, look, now you don't just have an enemy of the passenger, now you're making the police your enemy. Why do you write this way? At some point, when he was sending me back in the cab, I asked him, because he was like, no, I cannot take this standing down. This is injustice. Yeah, if need be, I will go to court with them. So I asked him, I said, that's going to spend quite a bit of money, isn't it? He said, well, if need be, he will do that. Not that he's a rich person, And it is not that I look down on him or anything. But I asked him, I said, at what cost justice? I'm not suggesting for you all to become meek and weak and frightened and let people walk over you. I'm all for justice. For those who know me long enough, sometimes I'm quite but over the years, I start to realize the meaning behind the Chinese saying, 不要鸡蛋碰石头. Yeah. 英雄不吃眼前亏. Yeah, learn to know when you can fight. When the odds are just all stick, the sticks are all stacked against you. Like, why? So I asked him this simple question. I said, how much do you earn a day? And he said, maybe average about $100, taxi driver. So then I asked him, out of this $100, how much do you spend on food? And he gave me some number. And how much do you spend on your family? And he gave me some number. Then I asked him, if you take on this case, are you going to spend the rest of the money on this case? Or do you have to spend perhaps the whole $100? He said, well, if I need to go and borrow money, I will go and borrow money. And I said, well, think about it. You earn $100 a day. The $100 is like representative of your life, Why do you want to spend all your resources on something just to get back that bit of justice? This is what we call in economics, I think, sunk cost fallacy. For those who learn economics or who are if I got it wrong, tell me after this. Yeah. Where once you spend time and money and effort into something, you feel like you need to win, Yeah. So I asked him, if that $100 is like 100% of your time, how much of your time do you want to spend on your loved ones? How much of your time do you want to spend on making yourself happy? And by making yourself happy, I don't mean go and spend time to fight a court case. I mean, think about it. When everything is okay, you shouldn't need to spend time on a court case. You don't everything is okay, then go and look for someone to have a court case to be happy. Yeah, you spend time on SGC. You spend time going for retreats. Yeah, you spend time going for movies, sing karaoke. Yeah. Go for walks. Yeah. Yeah. Spend time with your loved ones, your friends. Do things that you like. Nobody like to go on a court battle. No, but in most of our lives, we don't spend it on court battles. Yeah, we we spend it on smaller battles, small court battle, yeah, the small claims battle at home, family court, yeah? Family court. This is something that I often share with couples and children. Sometimes children get upset, really upset with their parents, because the parents don't let them use their handphone. When I was a kid, there was no handphone to talk about, yeah? But we have toys. When it's time for meal, my mom usually would like, keep it, now it's not the time to play. But of course, kids being kids. Now when I see kids like just holding on to the handphone, and it's easy for us adults to say, nowadays kids all use handphone. As though we don't do that. Yeah, we don't do that because in our time there's no handphone. But we will hold on to our toys, isn't it? I mean, there are some of you weird kids who don't do that. But normal ones like me, when you're a kid, the toy is everything to you, right? No, but that doesn't make it right. Yeah, that doesn't make it right. So as a result, as a kid, many kids will get so upset with the parents, will get so upset. So I asked some kids, I say, have you considered, before you had your handphone, were you happy? Were you okay? And they said, yeah, I'm okay. So I'm happy. So then, when you have your handphone, are you happy? You are also happy. Happier. And then, now that you don't have handphone, when your mom asks, like, take the phone away, you become even happier. No, what happened? What happened?
Cry. Angry.
Not so happy, isn't it? So I asked them, what caused you to be unhappy? And they said, Mommy. But you see, I like to think that I'm a systematic, logical. Some would say long-winded. But you see, I say, was there Mommy here? Was there Mommy here?
Yes. Yes.
Mommy was here. Was there Mommy here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was there Mommy here?
Yes.
No.
Yes. So, because Mommy is a constant, so Mommy didn't really change. Mommy was here when you were happy, was here when you were very happy, is still here. So what changed? It's the phone that makes the difference. Isn't it? Yeah, it's very clear. It's the phone that makes the difference. It's not Mommy. Yeah? It's not as though Mommy was not here, you're happy. Mommy go away for a long time, you are even happier. Then, okay, maybe you are. Yeah, keep quiet if you are. See me after this, you need professional help. But in most cases, normal kids like me, when I was younger, Mommy happy. Father also happy. But we get upset because before that, no phone. Mommy, also happy. Of course, sometimes also not happy. Huh? But now that you have a phone, we start to think that we need a phone to be happy. And that's why without a phone, we are unhappy. Nothing to do with money, really. It is because we buy into the idea that we need a phone to be happy. And that's why when parents try to talk to me, to convince me, or to try to get me to talk to their kids, to tell their kids not to use the phone, oftentimes the conversation starts off with this. I would usually start off and say, okay, first things first, your mom wanted me to tell you that you shouldn't use handphone. And the mommy is like, and I say, but I don't agree. Your mommy says that it's wrong for you to use handphone, but I think it's okay. And the kid is like, but you see, and then I explain, I say, because if it's not okay, then why is your mommy using the handphone? The fact that your mommy is using a handphone, Sifu is using a handphone, everybody is using a handphone, it means it's okay to use the handphone. Let's just get that out of the way. It's okay to use a handphone. Otherwise, in Singapore, it will be banned. Once we can agree with that, then we can go on to the next stage. That's why the mommy is like, oh, supposed to come and help me, then you end up, you know. Then, at that point, the kid is usually like, yeah, I really like this Sifu. Yeah, Sifu is my best friend. So then I will tell them that, you see, then why is it that your mommy don't let you use the handphone? Since it's okay to use the handphone, we all agree, then since your mommy uses handphone, so it should be okay to use the handphone. But why is it that your mommy don't let you use the handphone? And the key thing is this. If you relate to the handphone, thinking that the handphone and the handphone alone can give you happiness, then without the handphone you're going to suffer, then that is the wrong way to relate to the handphone. That is the problem. Nothing wrong with the handphone, nothing wrong with the mommy, something wrong with how we relate to the handphone. Now that is the key thing. If we relate to the handphone correctly, it's a tool. Nobody ever get upset with your toothbrush. If you wake up in the morning and you find your toothbrush missing, your mommy take away your toothbrush, throw it away, do you go like, oh, mommy? I mean, if you do, again, see me after this, you need professional help. Most people don't. In fact, we should use our handphone like the toothbrush, only when we need it. Now, no one will hold on to our toothbrush like you hold on to your phone. You only go to the toilet and reach for your toothbrush when you need it. And some of you may not use it every day. I won't say who. Oh no, so many of you are giving the guilty look. So then, how should we relate to the handphone? You see, number one, it's not to be enslaved to the handphone. Yeah? What do we mean by that? It means to recognize that the handphone is a tool. The handphone should serve us, not we serving the handphone. Not we serving the handphone. And that's where I would ask most kids, consider this. You are getting upset with your mommy over the handphone. Of course, in some cases, daddy. Yeah? Ask yourself, when you fall sick, does your handphone bring you to see the doctor? Simple answer, no. Ryan, say no. No, yes, no. When you're hungry, who cooks you food? Who buys you food? Yeah, don't tell me that you can use your handphone to order from food now, okay? Yeah, because your handphone is not going to pay for it. You use the handphone to pay, but the handphone cannot earn money to pay for you. Yeah, the handphone don't care about you, really. The handphone really doesn't care. Repeat after me. My handphone don't care about me. All of you, everybody, not just Ryan. Everybody. My handphone don't care about me.
The handphone doesn't care about me.
Yes, it doesn't care. The handphone don't care about you, doesn't care. Who cares? Who cares? Our friends and family care. Our mommy care about us.
My mom also cares for me too.
Very good. Good for you. Give your mommy a clap. Clap. And I ask them, how about the handphone? Can the handphone charge itself? In most cases, no. Yeah? You need to take care of the handphone. the handphone doesn't take care of you. Instead, who take care of you? Your mommy, your daddy. When you're sick, when you're hungry, when you're thirsty, when you need to go to school, of course, for kids, that's where it becomes tricky. Yeah? But I don't want to go to school. Yeah, but it's for your own good. So, brings me to the last point, which is, very simply, always ask yourself, before you get angry over somebody, think of this equation or this picture. I have a tendency to just use symbols, mathematics, but I will draw a picture today. Person, and then something. Okay? So person A and something B. It's a very simple equation that you just got to ask yourself. Is A as equal, as important as B? Is A as important as B? Just ask yourself this simple statement. Is A as important as B? If I will not assume that it is always more important, okay? If it is more important than B, then you shouldn't get angry with A over B. Yeah? If B is more important than A, then it is mathematically okay, yeah, to be angry with A over B. Let me just fill in the blanks for you. If mommy is more important than your phone, then it's not okay to get angry with mommy over your phone, because phone is not as important as mommy. Simple equation, simple logic. However, if your phone is more important than your mommy, then it's okay to be upset over with your mommy over your phone. As simple as that. Now, in this case, I'm using phones and kids as an example. Yeah? But each of us have our own little phone that we are strongly attached to. Each of us have our kid moment where we forget, where things in life lose perspective and priority, where we forget what is truly important. Where when something is lost or damaged, we sometimes at that moment feel that it is so important that we blow up at this person or that person. Yeah? Not suggesting that we should just be okay with everything. Yeah? But it's about, okay, yes, for sure in our life, many things are important. But to ask ourselves, is it so important that we should blow up over somebody? And sometimes this phone is literally a phone. Sometimes it is immaterial. Sometimes it's other possessions. Other times it's our pride, it's our ego, our face. Yeah? Sometimes it's another person, two person. Shifu don't have a one-size-fits-all for everybody. And that's the interesting part about life, about the Dharma. Because it is not simply the monk issuing out edicts, commandments to tell you do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah? But to share with you the principle behind it. And then for you to explore life, to examine life from moment to moment. And then to decide, sometimes correctly, sometimes wrongly. And it's through these mistakes, this process that you learn, that was not so fruitful. Not so much every time ask Sifu, then Sifu pass the verdict. Yes, this is correct, well done. No, this is wrong. But you just ask yourself, when you choose in this way, it brings about more peace, more happiness, then that should be correct. If you choose in a certain way, it creates a lot of stress, everybody is upset, then that's probably not so correct. Yeah? Many times in our process of learning Dharma, we need to always come back. Come back to where we are. To consider what are the things we are facing. How do we use the Dharma to help us in our life to improve ourselves? 2017 has started. I want to congratulate all of you for starting on such a wholesome note, doing offering to the Sangha, and then sharing, offering first or sharing food? Sharing food first, offering food and sharing food together, then offering to the Sangha, and then listening to a wonderful Dharma talk. But let it not be a one-day thing. Join us every week, same time, same channel. See you next week.
Announce that next week we'll be back to you.
Yes. Next week we'll be back to Liu and Kovan. On the 29th. 29th is in the Chu. 29 is Chu. There will be no SGC at the BU, no SGC at BL. Who wants to have SGC at Chu? Nobody, huh? Really nobody, huh? I see, you know what I see? Sifu, give us a break, please. So there will be no SGC on the 29th of January. Okay? On the 5th of February, we'll be having a special edition of SGC. We'll be going over to headquarters of Buddhist Union. It is at Jalan Sinam. Details will be posted on Facebook and on the WhatsApp chat group to join them for Chinese New Year celebration. They have graciously offered to invite us to join them for a Chinese New Year lunch celebration. As with many things in Buddhism and in life, the best thing in life is actually free. So free lunch, but you do need to indicate your interest in going so that they can prepare the number of tables. Okay. Anything else? 29, 25th. What else? Anything else?
The retreat.
Retreat. February retreat coming up. Those who are in the chat group, you should have seen the posting on and off. For those who want to have more information, you can contact Lily and Christina for more information. It's a 3-day retreat, 24, 5, 6. There's an option to come in on the 25th itself. There's also an option to, if you cannot make it for 3 days, you can come in on Sunday morning. So see you all around. Put our palms together. 愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿得智慧真明了，
愿得智慧真明了，
不愿罪障悉消除，
不愿罪障悉消除，
世世常行菩萨道，
世世常行菩萨道。
阿弥陀佛，
阿弥陀佛。
起立。